Well, hello and welcome to the Shallow Proclamation. My name is Paul, and as always, I'm joined by
Thomas.
and we're about to watch episode 3 of Frontier in Space. Been enjoying it so far, and so do let us know what you think down in the comments below. We always enjoy engaging with you guys down there, and if you want to chat more Doctor Who, Discord, you can join us there. There's a link in the description, and of course, if you want full reactions, join our Patreon, and there's a link in the description for that as well.
Do you reckon they're going to let Ogrons be Ogrons?
Oh, look at this.
Why does the Doctor have a roulette wheel on his head?
Definitely is a roulette wheel.
A mini one. Okay.
Everything on red, right?
Okay, Doctor, keep incredibly still. Cross between Spock and Djokovic.
Spokovich.
Spockovich. Spockovich never lies. I forget, Pertwee has quite a lot of hair, doesn't he?
Yeah,
It kind
sure
of
does.
It kind of all like puffs up quite a lot, so you don't get a sense that it's covering his face, but there is a lot of hair there, isn't there?
It's grown a lot since his first season.
Yes, that's probably it as well.
Sort of a bouffant.
Bouffant.
I mean, Capaldi's Doctor was quite similar, wasn't he? By the end,
Yes. Yeah, he
started
had
off with a very close cut, shortcut, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And then it kind of develops. This is well done because they've thought about the characters, haven't they?
Mm.
They haven't just. It's quite tempting when you do these kind of colonies or prison scenes to have just the sort of typical archetypes, and they're quite two-dimensional, the other prisoners. But these guys, you get a sense that they've got some history, and they're all quite different, interacting in interesting ways.
Yeah,
It's nicely done.
yeah, some good characters there.
Again, oh, hello.
Hey,
Nice.
it's been a while.
It has. Yeah, when was the last story he was in?
Good question.
It
Last
wasn't.
season.
Yeah, was it Sea Devils?
Quite possibly.
No, it was Time Monster, right? Oh no.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Time Monster. Yeah.
Time Monster at the end. Yep.
And he escaped in his TARDIS.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
We are going to steal a spaceship. They have left 2 space.
Oh, cool. This is a fascinating prison break story, isn't it?
I mean, this is episode 3. We've had 3 very different kind of settings and things, haven't we, already? The spaceship
Yeah.
and more of the earthbound stuff, and now we're on the moon and the prison.
Yeah, this is very impressive.
Pressurizing. Don't you understand that? They're pumping up the air.
Very good.
Well, that's raced by. I really didn't expect that to be the end. I felt like I was only a few minutes into that story.
That was very good.
Yeah.
Good cliffhanger.
I mean, it's been a strong story so far.
Yeah, as you say, the variety of it. Each episode is. It's all very much of a piece, but each episode is quite different setting and.
Do you know what it
introducing
reminds?
characters. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I hadn't really thought about that before, and it's only just come to me. What it reminds me of, I mean, obviously it's a very different beast, but I don't think we've had anything where we've had such varied locations from one episode to the next since was it the Keys of Marinus,
Ah, yes.
where they were kind of going from location to location,
That's interesting. Yeah.
all within the same place, obviously.
That was a
back when
fun story.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was sort of only about 3 or 4 stories into the original season, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Barbara destroying the brains.
Yeah, yeah. it was a very different beast at that point, the whole show as well, wasn't it? That it was much more experimental, I guess. You get much, a whole variety of completely different types of stories. But yeah, I quite like it in this, that you have had these quite distinct settings for each episode so far. I don't know if it could be able to keep it up for 6 episodes, but it's been good so far. And like I say, that episode is just whizzed by. I literally, just looking at the clock now, and I was thinking, I can't believe that's the end of the episode, because I definitely thought we had more time. But
yeah, no, it has absolutely whistled by, hasn't it?
And there's some really nice bits in there. I mean, I love, again, the setting of moving into the penal colony is great. The idea of, and it gives you a sense again of the world that they're living in, that the society around them. That there are these political prisoners who are sent to the moon, and they're there. There's no sentences. They're there for life. That's it.
Like how convicts were sent to Australia. It's that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And also that bit where he said to the doctor, a troublemaker, eh? He's like, that's what I'm in for,
Yeah, that was nice.
Just some really nice dialogue there. And of course, the master.
Yeah, and it was quite fun the way he was introduced with, he offers Joe a way out, and she's kind of like, oh, of all the rescuers, why does it have to be him?
Yeah.
Because help. Yeah. And do you detect that when he says, 2 of my friends are in danger, is there a small part of him that genuinely cares about them? Who knows?
I mean, I think he wouldn't blink to kill them either. But I think there is an element of fondness there as well, isn't there? I think particularly if you go back to stories like the Sea Devils, when they went to visit him in prison, you detect that kind of, there is a nice kind of feeling in some sense between the Doctor and the Master, and Joe has sort of been embraced into that as well, I think. Yes. Miss Grant, like...
Yeah. No, really impressive stuff. Yeah. No, I'm quite blown away by this, actually.
I think it's often described as a space opera. So it's that kind of feel.
Like Star Wars.
Yeah, like Star Wars, yeah. And, obviously it doesn't quite have the budget of something like Star Wars, and maybe perhaps not quite the scale either, but I think given, what they're doing, given they're doing what they are with the amount of money they would have had and the limitations they would have had, I think it's been great so far. I mean, that's been a really solid, we've just watched 3 episodes on the trot. That's been a really enjoyable sort of hour and a half or so, or just under. Yeah.
Wow. This is good chit chat. The episode and no, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd be interested to know what other people make of it, whether anyone else is finding it as enjoyable as we have, or or whether we're outliers on this one.
We've been known to go against fan consensus before.
Yeah.
The chase.
Which is another story which does have different locations from episode to episode, in fairness.
That's true.
So
there are a few Hartnell stories that kind of had that caper feel, didn't they? Where it was like they're being chased or they're just going through location. It's like, what do they call it? Is it a picaresque novel?
I don't know.
Those novels that there isn't so much a story. Well, that might be a bit unfair on those Doctor Who stories, because there was some story, but it's kind of just characters being plunged into one situation after another. And they're all kind of quite different environments. But yeah.
Yeah, I like that description.
I suppose also the Time Robber, arguably. But
Mind Robber.
Sorry, the Mind
Robber. Or the Time Meddler. The Time Meddler, the Mind Robber.
Actually, kind of both. Well, yeah. Dalek Master Plan. It's kind of quite a few, arguably. But yeah. Keys of Marinus is the one that comes to mind, isn't it?
Mm. But I like that description you say there of a caper.
Mm.
That's a good description of those stories where you're from episode to episode moving into another environment, like on this continual sort of pursuit of something, or on the run from something, or whatever. That's a great description of it. And I don't know if there are. I mean, yeah, there are episodes which obviously, something like Dalek Master Plan is 12 episodes long, so you're going to get changes of scene. And we've often said as well that even in a six-parter, sometimes you get sort of 4 parts in and then there's a bit of a change of direction, something new thrown in to kind of give it a twist. But that's not quite the same as having a constant movement.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, it remains to be seen whether it will keep that up. Obviously just in the first 3 parts that has been the case, but whether it will stay doing that, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as they say, caper DM.
No, but I like the idea of a caper.
You get them in jars, don't you?
I like to have yeah. I wish there was more Doctor Who stories that had that sort of feel.
Yeah.
It works for me.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of fun. The first episode with Bill kind of did that, didn't they? When they were trying to escape the lady, and they kept going to different locations.
Yeah, I guess the difference on that in the modern era, of course, all of that is contained within 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's so brief, you don't really get a chance to be like, and we're in this location, and you go, oh, this is a really nice environment, and you get like a bit of story there. It's very much just like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, I suppose Flux. No, we don't talk about that.
No, but that might be a good shout.
That sort of does that, doesn't it?
I've not revisited it since it was originally on, so I can't.
Oh, have you not? That surprises me. That you haven't been rushing to rewatch
rushing
that
back
series.
to the Whittaker era.
It's plays like a nightlight in my house, just on a loop, basically. Well, no, great stuff. Thanks for watching, people. Let us know if you think this is indeed a jolly caper. Any reservations that we might not have picked up on at this stage. Still, yeah, we're only halfway through, but it seems like a pretty strong story to our minds. So, yeah. And but maybe we need to have our minds probed. But yeah, do join our Discord if you haven't done so already. Link in the description. And do check out our Patreon if you'd like to see the full commentary tracks for these episodes. But yeah, thank you very much for watching.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.